Hi everyone, welcome to episode 120 of the Yarnivore Podcast, a day late. Oh well. I was in Canada last week. Oh, Canada land. How I missed your fries and gravy. I went back to Regina to help my mom move. That was pretty exhausting. I came home and I was tired. I pretty much slept. And then yesterday I had a migraine, which was glorious. I think it was due to the shift in weather. It was 10 degrees cooler. Go down. It was 10 degrees cooler in Regina. So it was jacket wearing weather. Here it is not remotely. There's still air conditioning on. And it's really dry there as averse to the moist of Minnesota. So yeah. My head just decided to go kabloom yesterday, and no recording was getting done. Nothing was getting done. I had plans. And I'm going to play with my bangs because they're bugging me. You get the bad hair, and you get the gloriousnness of a Monday recording. It's also like 9 in the morning, and I've been up since 7. Because hubby's alarms woke me up. I wasn't used... being gone for a week, I had gotten unused to the alarms going off, and he is not a morning person. Neither of us are morning people, so yeah. Goes off several times. What are you gonna do? Not a whole heck of a lot. There is some soap foam on the bottom of my cup. Oh well. Coffee is needed. Coffee is always needed. This is the Brooklyn brand French roast, and oh, it's good. So is the Forget About It. I think I like the Forget About It more. But enough coffee chatter. There will be pets running in and out because there is no Wrangler here. And I fed Petrie this morning, so she doesn't need more food yet. She thinks she does. She'll probably mew for some. And I've got a bebop laying behind me, guarding me. He has not left my side since I've gotten home. Apparently, I'm not allowed to leave again for a while because, no. They were unimpressed with me being gone for the 3rd time in a month. So, jumping right on into it. I do have finished objects. Yeah, I do. Actually, I have one finished object, and I have one that's kind of a finished object, but we'll get into that in a second. I finished the brickless. It is not blocked. I finished it in Canada. I got home. It has not been blocked. Blocking has not happened, but it turned out marvelously. For everyone who's taking part in the Yarnivore Knittables Joint Knit Along for the brickless, this is out of Miss Babs Yowza What a Skein in the Shining City colorway, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I'm gonna love it more when I block it, but hey, again, life happens. Hi, Beetle. It's not bad enough. I've got 2 now. I got 3. So I finished it. It came off the needles. It came off the needles in Canada because I needed to zen out and knit. This will be interspersed with Canada talk. Welcome to the National with Peter Mansbridge. I'm not that stuffy. I'd probably be the George Strombolopoulos show. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So, basically, I took it with me to Canada. I didn't know if I'd get it done or not. But we had to downsize my mom's house. My mom had a big house. And that is to say, she got in the real estate at the right time. But since nobody else is living there but her, it was a darn big house. And she filled it. And she moved to an apartment, which is a 2-bedroom apartment, which is significantly smaller, go figure. So, yeah. 2 truckloads to the dump. 10 donation bags of clothes later. Actually, no. There are 10 bags of I'm going to put the brickless over there. There were 10 bags of donations, like household stuff and whatnot. There were 11 boxes of books, and she gave away 8 bags of professional clothing to someone we know who could use them. So basically, in the grand scheme of things, she downsized a lot, and she had downsized prior to me getting there. And then I went through everything with a fine-tooth comb and made it worse. But she is safely ensconced in her new place. She has internet, and life is good. I was glad to be able to help my mommy. I couldn't feel my arms when I got home. I have also come to the conclusion that she needs no more art. No more. Next person who buys her art, I am going to bitch slap. Sorry for the swearing. Because she'd hired a moving company, but we don't trust. Okay, this was the 30th or 31st move of my life. I'm 30 years old and I've moved over 30 times. So this was either her 30th or 31st. And in the process, we have learned that if you have really valuable framed art, you do not leave it to the moving people. Or at least my mother won't. I will just wrap it up and say all is well, and if the glass breaks, they're insured. She will not. She also has a lot of knickknacks. I moved 2 Jeep Liberties worth of knickknacks and artwork. No more art. No one's getting her more art. The next person who gets her art, I'm going to injure. It's going to be me injuring them, and yeah. It's nice art. I'm not decrying her art. I'm just saying there's a point where you have enough art. She has hit that point. Unless she gets rid of some art, no more art. Yes, Beetle. I've got a beetle right here, and she's mewing at me, and then she pats my... Oh, come on then. And then she pats my leg with her claws, and I don't like being patted with claws because that means I'm going to get clawed. Purring kitty. Purring kitty. Okay, the other semi-finished thing I have is, it's not finished because it's not the blanket, but I did 3 more squares for the rip-off barn raising. I'm using the square by something Geddes. Sharon Geddes? Geddes? So, 3 more. More scraps done. What? I think that brings my total up to 8. They're kind of fun when you don't want to think. Fur. Everybody needs fur. So, those are all I've gotten finished. And quite frankly, I think that's an accomplishment. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt accomplished. And this week I will be dyeing up the skein for the winner of the Brickless Cowl, which will be drawn after August 28th. We're ending it on August 28th. Hubby's birthday is August 29th. And yeah, whatever episode comes after that, I'll draw a prize. And it will be a skein of yarn from Knitter's Nightmare Yarn and Fiber Company. So, my giant Jack Skellington mug. I'm going to get started on dyeing Halloween colors, and there may be some DK weight yarn. Just saying. Having said that, it'll probably be a week before there's a shop update. There's some fiber and some spare stripy skeins in there right now if you're still looking for some. So, on to works in progress. With the cat in my lap, who is shedding. Awesome. Works in progress. Well, the other thing I worked on in Canada, on my way to Canada, in Canada, etc., which got me stopped on the way home, on the way back to the U.S., is in my lettuce knit sock bag. Here is the second cuff. These are on Sock Rockets 1.5. US 1.5s, 2.25 millimeters, I believe. Yeah. What? Okay, that's crazy. I can't read that. It makes no sense, Batman. This is what happens when I record Germany. I can read Germany. 2.25 millimeter. I believe. Anywho, here's the cuff. Which means that I finished the first one, minus the afterthought heel. This is the Madame Raz colorway. It is Knitter's Nightmare sock yarn, and it is going to become a show sock when it is done. I will put it on a sock blocker, and you will see it if you see me vend at places like Knit in the Mitten. It's to get, it's more so that people can see how thick the fat bottom stripe is. I'm sorry, it's a rugby sock. I'm sorry, Annette. I'm sorry. We don't abide by rugby very much here in the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah, no. I know there's rugby in Regina. In the most, like, peripheral, I know there's a rugby club. I've driven past it. I've never actually seen or heard of anyone playing rugby in Regina. Yeah, rugby, not so popular. If it resembled hockey, I would know. But I don't. So those are the Madame Raz socks. I'm on the second sock. And really, those were plain knitting. They were sitting around waiting for the movers, knitting. They were visiting my brother and stuff like that. That's what I knit on them with. And then I had to Kitchener the toe at Mom's house after we moved. And that was about all I could do that one night. After all the moving, I was like, I have Kitchenered that. I'm done. I'm done. Proceeded to pass out. That is how it goes. But on the way home, when I flew with just carry-ons, so I had my backpack and I had my purse. My purse, air quotes, was the SSK messenger bag, because I'm that way. I didn't want to pay $25 to check a bag. That, and I didn't want it to get lost, and I don't really trust that on some of the flights, because flights out of Regina can be sketchy at best. So I had my knitting in my bag to go on the plane. I had knitting in my backpack, but apparently that didn't tweak them. But the knitting in my purse, like, little buzzers went off, and they ran it through a second time, and then this large man comes over, and he's like, we need to look through your bag. Like, okay. But he had my whole tray, and it had my shoes in it, and I didn't want to get my socks really dirty, and it was muddy and mucky, and I was like, can I have my shoes? I don't care if you go through my bag, just give me my damn shoes. So I got my shoes, and I put them on, and then I went over, and I opened my bag, and he's like, and there's like a sock on the needles. It's not like, you can't tell once you see it. Going through the machine, I get it. And I opened my bag, and he goes, knitting? I was like, yeah, it's my knitting. It's a sock. Would you like to see it? He's like, no, that's fine. And then just walked away. Didn't even say anything. I was like, you are a very brusque man. It's the first time I've ever had knitting get caught in screening. And I've flown a fair amount lately. That's the first time knitting has gotten caught in screening. Although, coming back from Nashville, they did run my spinning wheel through twice. And I think they were just amused by the fact that there was a spinning wheel in there. I don't think they understood what was going on. I offered to take it out and set it up and spin for them, but yeah, no, they did not take me up on the offer in the Nashville airport. So, works in progress. Those socks. And out of hibernation. I don't even think it was like hibernating that much or that long. It was just, it got ridiculously hot, and in my Amy Beth Fat Squirrel Fiber sweater bag, this thing can hold a ton. To anyone who says it can't hold a ton, you clearly are not. You got packing problems. But, Beetle, can I throw you off now? You're making my leg fall asleep. And I gotta thank you. She's gaining weight. Sorry, I just jacked the camera. So in my Amy Beth bag is the Harvest Moon sweater, because when I got back, it was I wanted to knit on something that was already existing, but I didn't want to have to think very much. And I didn't want to have to pick out the next color for one of the blanket squares, so fuzz. So I picked up the sweater again. Now, the last time you saw it, I was still on the body. It is, like, it's not done yet, but it's getting there. So I finished the body, as you can see, poorly. I finished the body, and right here, if I can get it to hold up properly, see? Here's where the pocket goes. And there's a pocket placard that you knit, and I'm going to knit it out of the purple. But, so I finished the body, I joined the pockets to it. I did the I-cord bind off. I did the I-cord bind off on 5s. I'm knitting it on a 4, or 4.5. I'm knitting it on a 4.5. I went up to 5s for the I-cord bind off on the bottom. It's a bit rolly, but once I block it, it'll be fine. I knit the first sleeve. And I did the I-cord bind off on the first sleeve in the purple that is on the neck. Now, once I finished the body, I had a full skein and about 3/4 of a skein left, so I weighed them, I divided it by 2, and I said, if this sleeve takes more than this, it's going to be a shortened sleeve. The sleeve took a little bit less than half of the amount, the first sleeve, and the first sleeve fits perfectly. I kept trying it on to make sure it was the right length. I've not sewn in any ends, as you can see. The decrease rate on this was perfect for me, and I'm enjoying it. So I picked up the second sleeve yesterday, maybe? Damned if I know. I picked up the second sleeve. I am working the decreases. I have 4 more to go before I've decreased down and enough that I can do the I-cord. I have this much of my ball left, so better only take this much. Now, this is what I have left from the other skein, so if I need to use it, I can. I would like to use this to sew up the pockets, because you have to sew up the pockets, and I think the line is going to show. If I use the purple, it's going to look bad. So I'm going to use this to sew up the pockets. Hopefully I have the same leftover on this. If I don't, I'll make something work, but I'm just saying. So I used 5 skeins of this bluish color, and I still have a skein and a bit of the purple, of which I have 2. This is Barocco Lustra, and I have no idea what the color numbers are. I didn't write them down. The tags are long since gone. My mom got it for me ages ago, and I tried the sweater on once I finished the body, and it fits perfectly. The fronts with the I-cord-esque detail right here that you can see, they need to be blocked. I will probably spray block it. I've never spray blocked anything before. Usually I need something to grow, but I really don't want this to grow considerably, so I'm probably going to spray block it. However, it is a wool tencel blend, so there's a 50% chance I can throw it in the dryer on delicate. However, I'm not about to play with this theory. I am, however, about to play with the theory of how to spray block. I've never done it before. But aside from that, it's been a really good knit. I know you can't really see it very much now. I posted a picture on Instagram of me in the sweater, except I was wearing my pajamas and I looked jacked up, so apologies for the crap selfie. I don't take selfies. They don't work for me. It's a lovely sweater, though. It's a big and lovely blue-gray, purple shebang. And hopefully I'll have that finished next week, because all I have left to do is that sleeve and the plackets, and the pocket plackets? Pocket plackets, is that right? And seam them all in and sew in the ends. I have a lot of dyeing to do, so I don't know if that'll get done. But having said that, I got home on Thursday. I finished the body and a sleeve since then. However, again, I decided I wasn't going to do any work. That didn't really work. I did do work on Saturday, but I was trying not to. I tried valiantly. Really, I tried. So, and hubby bought the first season of Game of Thrones. I'm not obsessed. I'm sorry. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, if this doesn't get better, I'm going to be mad. And we finished the first season last night. We don't watch a lot of TV. We watch primarily DVDs of like TV shows we like. We don't have cable. We have no need for it. If we want it, we'll download it or we'll buy it, because he's got the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and you can get like TV shows for relatively cheap and they don't have the commercials. So, did not really get into it. By the end of the first season, I kind of cared, but only in a peripheral way. Like, I want Joffrey to die painfully, but aside from that, there's a lot of tit to low ass ratio. If there's that much titty going on, I want more man bone. There were 2 penises. Come on, HBO. I shouldn't have that much lesbo action going on and that much titty without a few more penises. And seriously, attractive ones, please. There were a couple of decent man bumps, but really, for the amount of sex going on, I just got way too much titty. And I'm sure you really needed to hear that. There you go. If you want to watch the Game of Thrones, it's all about TNA. Only it's girl TNA, because you can't show penises. Except they do, twice. I counted. So, for some reason, I felt the need to spin. And when you feel the need to do something, you should probably do it. Just run with it. Because I hadn't had the chance to spin on the wheel since I got back from SSK. I have done some drop spindling. I have not touched it since I got back from Canada. So I have the 2 little thingies, and I still want to get back to my poonies. But I was like, if I have to hold my arm up to drop spindle, it's not happening. Like, my arm will not go that high. It's sore. Still. Like, I'm in pain. But I have muscle relaxers from Canada. Awesome. FYI, totally bought some sinus stuff with pseudoephedrine. No one cares in Canada. At least not in Regina. Like, I mean, I bought $100 worth of over-the-counter pharmaceuticals to bring back with me. They didn't even look at ID. They were just like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, love them. Love it. So, I've stocked up until Mom comes to visit at Christmas. That's all I've got to go on, but whatever. So anywho, I felt the spinning bug. And the wheel was right there. So I was like, okay, I can spin. You know, I can spin, that's fine. So I grabbed the nearest thing, which was a bag of Nest Fiber English Shetland in the colorway Block Party, which I got on a D-stash, because I wanted to try some Nest, and then I scored on an update. So I'm really big into the whole Nest thing. I really like her stuff. So I spun and I plied. This is 4 ounces of English Shetland in the colorway Block Party. There's my little leader. My little leader. I got a relatively fine 2-ply. It's probably a heavy fingering to a medium fingering. It depends on the plump I get, but really it's going to be a fingering. I'm just not sure of what level of fingering, whether it be light or heavy. There you go. There's your fingering for the day. You got TNA and fingering. You're a lucky group. It ended up being, I didn't write it down. I left it on my calculator on the iPad though. 517 yards. So 517 yards of, we'll say a true fingering maybe. And is a 2-ply. Ah! It's alright. That's what I get for putting things on the drum carder. Because it's right here. I'll get that in a sec. So, yeah. So gorgeous colors. I fractally spun it. I'm going to let it rest on the Nitty Naughty because it hasn't really rest. I am one of those people that if I finish a ply and I walk away for an hour and I come back and I'm like, I still want to spin, I'll start plying it. I won't let the singles rest overnight. I am an impatient person, whatever. It'll rest on the bobbin, or on the Nitty Naughty, because I am going to have to, well, no. It's not going to get washed and thwacked anytime soon. Let's face it, I haven't washed and thwacked anything in a while. I haven't, what's the word? Blocked. I haven't blocked anything in a while, so really, there's not a lot of hope that this is getting washed and thwacked anytime soon. But it was a joy to spin. It spun up really nice. It drafted well. There was no felting issues. There's a blue. It's almost a gray blue, which you can see right here. There's a purple. There's this orange. It's an orangey yellow. It's deep orange in some spots and yellow in others. There is a pink. There is a purple. It's just fun. Not my usual color palette, but I enjoyed spinning it, and I will probably enjoy knitting it into something. But I'm training myself so that I can get up to the 3-ply I want to start doing for the Less is More sweater. Enough spinning talk. So, enabling. I could call it something fun and fabulous, but let's face it, the long and short of it is, I'm going to show you shit that you may want. Be jealous, people. Okay, so first off, when I was in Canada, I had like an hour of spare time, and because I had worked so hard, Mom was like, yes, I will let you go to the yarn store. She would let me go, because quite frankly, I can't be trusted in yarn stores. And so we went to the Golden Willow because it was the closest. And they usually carry opal. They used to anyway, but they don't anymore. And I was really sad about it because I wanted to get some opal sock yarn, and that's usually the place I go. So there was no opal. I begrudged that about 2 seconds, and then I saw this. It's actually pretty true to color. It's almost a tealy blue-green. It's coming out a little more blue on the screen. But this was so reasonably priced, and I get the feeling from it, like, as I feel it, it's a little scratchy. Not, like, horribly scratchy, not like if I wore it, I would have to itch myself constantly, but that level that says, I need to be washed and soaked, and then I will be super soft and yummy. So, this is Tove 2 Trads Wool Garn, and Elizabeth MD is probably laughing her butt off. So is Roxanne. Because this is from Norway. This is Sanda's Garn, which is Norwegian. And I'm guessing 2 Trads Wool Garn means 2-ply. It is 100% Norsk wool and befalt Ulvaskemiddel Milo, whatever that means. If someone could tell me what the hell that means, that'd be nice. 50 grams. Sorry, still getting used to the weather here. I have the sneezes. 50 grams equals CA 160 meters. I got 11 skeins, and it's going to become the good ale. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's probably what this is going to become. 1024, which I'm guessing means 10 centimeters or 4 inches equals 24 stitches on 3.5 knitting needles. A whole little series of things here, so there you go. It was very reasonably priced. The 11 skeins was $56 with tax, so how can you go wrong with a sweater at that price? You can't. You can try, but you won't. I may have bought every skein of that color they had. If they had more, I probably would have bought it. Just saying. And then I got home. And, preamble, there was a lovely woman at SSK who I shall not name because I don't have her permission to name her. But, she had this bag, and I went nuts over the bag. I loved the bag. I wanted the bag. I was offering to do strange things for the bag. I have no shame sometimes. And totally cool person. We were talking about her family had gone to Comic-Con at the same time as SSK, which is kind of awesome. And she was right behind the giant group. Like, she was like right behind us when we were waiting in line in the morning, and she was just good peeps. She was fun. I believe she was knitting a cat or a teddy bear. Either way, had some fun. And so she PM'd me and said, I found some more of the fabric, would you like one of the bags? And I offered to pay her, and she said no, it is a wedding present. And I was like, aww. So touched. So when I got home, I came home to this. Are you jealous? You should be jealous. You should be very jealous. And it has a little carabiner thing sewn in, so I can hook it on stuff and hang it. It's got a little tab. Really, she should have a shop, because this is mighty fine quality. Do you know what this is? Do you know? Can you see the Holocaust cloak? The wheelbarrow. The rodent of unusual size. That's right, it's Princess Bride! Princess Bride! And as if the Princess Bride bag couldn't get better, FYI, the good ale's going in this, because it's sweater size. It's massive, and I love it. But look at the interior fabric. Can you see the interior fabric? Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Oh my god. Oh my god. I may have squeed. I may have done a little dance. There may have been like, but and it's got interfacing, and it's so, ooh, there's no visible seams. Like, I mean, this woman knows what she's doing. And then the bottom is purples, because I spilt my Coke. When we were waiting in line, I spilt my Coke. And she's like, in case you have any Coke spills, it won't harm your bag. And the bag has something in it that makes it hard at the bottom, so you have a flat bottom, so it stands up all nice. I love my bag. Yay! And the other thing that was here when I came home, because I'm such a joiner, I had been meaning to get some yarn from someone who also dies in Bloomington, which is the Cyborg's Craft Room. We've met at the post office a few times. She's a lovely girl. Her name's Megan Black. And so she came back from vacation. Her shop came back from vacation, and I knew I needed to get some. And of course, everybody's like, of course you need to get some. I was like, how dare you tell me I need to get some? I will now proceed to go get some. So I did. Needless to say. So my Cyborg's Craft Room shipment was waiting for me. And I got a couple skeins. This is the Asocolate, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, fingering weight approximately 463 yards, in the Stellar colorway. As soon as I saw this colorway, I knew it had to be mine. It's so pretty. You're not getting it as awesome as it is in real life. It's so pretty. And I believe the Knit Girls are giving one away. I'm not sure if they've given it away yet, or if they're giving it away, but either way, it's going to be given away. I got a skein of Sparklate in the box of 96 colorway. It is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. And it's pretty. And I confess these are not my color. This next one I'm going to show you, not my colors, but as soon as I saw the name I had to have it. It's called Unicorn Rainbow Fight. It is also on the Asocolate. And I think that'll just be a happy pair of socks. When you're in the dead of dreary winter, this is going to come out of like the stash and be the happy socks. But seriously, Unicorn Rainbow Fight. How can you go wrong with Unicorn Rainbow Fight? You can't. And you can't go wrong with the Cyborg's Craft Room either. So that is what I ended up getting. And it was waiting for me when I came home. There was more squee. And it's inside my bag. Which I want to use as a pillow. Not even gonna. Look, matches my hair. And nobody noticed that I dyed my hair purple last week. Well, not all of it, just the front half. And it's fading out and my roots are coming in and blah, 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 blah. You can also tell that I've dyed my hair black way too many times because stripping it didn't want to strip very well. But the next time I strip it, it'll come out. Because, hey, I have a job where it doesn't matter what color my hair is, which is pretty much the job I've wanted since I was a teenager. So I'm going to get tattooed, and I'm going to have stupid hair colors, because I can. Which brings us to music. Our music is actually inspired by the trip to Chicago I took, in which I hung out with Lily and our sister a lot. Kate. Kate is great. Lily and Kate are, like, my home slices. I've been friends with Lily so damn long, I don't even, like, I mean, we've passed the 10-year mark, and we don't look back. But we are very musically similar, aside from the rap thing. She'll listen to rap, whereas I won't. We're very musically similar. So we were trading music, like, oh, I'm listening to this, oh, I'm listening to that, and one of the things she told me to check out was Florence and the Machine, and then we watched a couple music videos on the iPad, and I was like, yes, I need to check this out, and thusly I am recommending it to you, because I downloaded the album and it's awesome. I know that she's more of a popular, well-known act right now, which isn't usually my foray for recommendations, but really it's just good music, so I will post a couple videos, YouTubes, in the show notes, so you can check it out. Speaking of YouTube, if you haven't noticed, I've started syndicating to YouTube as well as the Blip. Blip has its own issues, but we all know that podcasters are going the way of the dodo as far as being on Blip. I haven't received the screw-off email yet, but when I do, I will be syndicating over to YouTube, because guess what? I can't afford to syndicate from my blog. I can't. Blip Pro was $8 a month. You're looking at least $20+ a month to syndicate off the blog. I don't make money off this. I don't expect you to pay subscriptions. Like, I mean, I get the occasional donation. It pays for shipping, for prizes. It paid for the $8 Pro account. But the long and short of it is, I'm doing this for fun. You're watching this for fun. Let's not turn this into a money machine. If you have a problem with YouTube, I'm sorry, but that's where we're going to be going when Blip gives us the finger. So, when I post these, I will post this to the blog, I'll post the Blip link, and I'll post the YouTube link. The Blip link works. Watching it on the blog is 50-50 because they're doing a bunch of weird stuff, and yeah, that's my little spiel. When another thing comes along that works, I will try that. Until then, it is what it is. I'm not making anyone pay for it. I'm just not, and I'm not going to pay $20 a month. I'm also not backing up any of the episodes, so anything that's not currently on YouTube is probably not going to be on YouTube, just because I do not have the time to go back, catch all the episodes, like pull them off of Blip, and then upload them to YouTube. I don't. They're not stored on my computer because of space, and I haven't put them on hard disks or DVDs or CDs. I haven't backed them up. I don't care. So if you have a problem with that, then go check them out and download them now and save them yourselves. Aside from that, again, there will be no shop update this week. There will be one next week, but I will be recording before that goes up, so you'll be able to see everything. I'm Blue Rune on Ravelry. We shoot stars on Plurk. I am Sadie Rune on Twitter and on Instagram. You can follow me there. I haven't been on Plurk a lot lately just because it didn't work with, it doesn't talk to my iPad well. I don't like the interface on it. So I tend to go on Twitter and Instagram a lot more than Plurk lately, just because it's easier and I can do it from my phone or my iPad, whereas I don't need to be tied to the computer. The Yarnivorous group on Ravelry, we're over 700 members, which is kind of awesome. Don't forget, when we hit 1,000, there will be some sort of fun time going on. And don't forget to join the Knitter's Nightmare group. There's the Inspire Me thread, which I will be plucking from before the end of August for an August winner. And yeah, that's about everything. I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you enjoy August thus far, and I hope it's not excessively warm where you are, unless that's what you like.